I divorced my wife because she tried to poison me while I was sick. I never would have thought that my marriage would end in such a horrific way. I had always believed that my wife and I were meant to be together forever. But everything changed when I fell sick. It started off with a simple headache. I thought it was just stress from work and brushed it off. But the headache persisted, and soon I was bedridden with high fever and body aches. It was the flu, the doctor said. Nothing serious, just rest and plenty of fluids. My wife, Clara, was doting on me, like any loving spouse would. She took time off from work to take care of me, cooked me soup, and made sure I took all my medication. At first, I felt grateful for her care and concern, but as the days went by, I started to feel suspicious. Clara would always be the one to hand me my pills and fluids. She would hover around me constantly, making sure I was taking everything she gave me. I tried to brush it off as her being overly cautious, but then I noticed something strange. The color of the pills had changed. I remembered vividly that the pills were supposed to be white in color, but now they were yellow. I brought this up to Clara, thinking maybe it was a different kind of medication. But she dismissed my concerns and said that they must have changed the color for branding purposes. I wanted to believe her, but my gut feeling just wouldn't let me. I started to feel uneasy and even more paranoid when my symptoms didn't seem to be improving. In fact, they were worsening. I could barely keep my food down and my fever was getting higher. One day, while Clara was out running errands, I decided to do some digging. I went through our medicine cabinet and compared the pills that she had been giving me with the ones I had previously used. Sure enough, they were different, and upon closer inspection, I found out that the yellow pills were actually a potent sleeping pill. I was horrified. The thought that my own wife was trying to put me to sleep while I was sick sent shivers down my spine. But why? Why would she do this to me? I couldn't find any logical explanation. We had been married for 5 years, and I thought we were happy. There were no signs of unhappiness or resentment. Feeling cold and clammy, I confronted Clara when she returned home. I showed her the pills and demanded an explanation. But she just laughed it off and tried to make me believe that it must have been a mix-up at the pharmacy. I didn't buy it for a second. I knew there was something sinister going on. With my suspicions heightened, I decided to stay awake that night and see what my wife would do. I pretended to take the pills she gave me and waited. And sure enough, a few hours later, I heard her tiptoeing into the room. I kept my eyes closed and observed her silently. She crept up to the bedside and opened her purse, taking out a small vial with a clear liquid in it. My heart raced and my mind was in a frenzy. What was she planning to do? I couldn't believe that my loving wife was capable of such evil intentions. Before she could do anything, I opened my eyes and confronted her once again. This time she couldn't deny it. She broke down in tears and confessed that she had been trying to poison me. My whole world shattered in that moment. Through her tears, Clara explained that she had been planning to leave me for a while now. She had fallen in love with another man and wanted to get rid of me so she could start a new life with him. The flu had come at the perfect time for her, a perfect cover to carry out her plan. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My wife, who I thought loved me, wanted me dead. I couldn't even wrap my head around it. Without hesitation, I packed my bags and left. I had no intention of staying with someone so heartless and cruel. But that was just the beginning of my nightmare. As soon as I left, Clara turned the tables on me. She accused me of being paranoid and delusional. She even went to the extent of accusing me of being abusive towards her. Suddenly, I was the villain in this story, painted as a crazy and controlling husband. I was devastated. Not only was my marriage over, but my reputation was also being ruined. I tried to fight back and tell the truth, but Clara had already gained the sympathy of our friends and family. My own parents had turned against me, believing every word that came out of her mouth. In the midst of it all, I found out that Clara had been seeing this other man for a while now. She had been cheating on me, and I was oblivious to it all. I felt like such a fool for not seeing the signs earlier, but I couldn't dwell on it. I had to focus on clearing my name and finding evidence of her true intentions. I hired a private investigator, and with his help, we were able to gather enough evidence to prove that Clara had indeed conspired to poison me. Without a second thought, I filed for divorce and got a restraining order against Clara. It was time for me to start anew, pick up the pieces of my shattered life and move on. But the scars were deep, and the memories still haunted me. I couldn't trust anyone. The betrayal from someone I loved and thought I knew so well left me feeling broken and alone. But with the support of my friends and family who finally saw the truth, I was able to slowly heal and rebuild my life. It took me a while to get back on my feet, mentally and emotionally. And even though I had sworn off relationships, fate had other plans for me. I met a fantastic woman, Rachel, who showed me what true love is supposed to feel like. She was understanding and patient with my trust issues, and slowly she helped me overcome my fears. Today we are happily married, and I couldn't be more grateful for her presence in my life. Looking back, I realized that sometimes things happen for a reason. My illness brought to light the true nature of my ex-wife and helped me break free from a toxic relationship. And in the end, it led me to my true soulmate. As for Clara, she got what she deserved. She was sentenced to prison for attempted murder, and her lover abandoned her when he found out the truth. I couldn't bring myself to feel sorry for her. She brought this upon herself, and I was finally able to find closure and move on with my life. In a way, I am grateful that I got sick. It saved me from a life of misery with my ex-wife and opened up a new chapter in my life, filled with love and happiness. I never thought I would say this, but I am glad I divorced my wife because she tried to poison me while I was sick. It was the wake-up call I needed to truly appreciate the blessings in my life.